Into thine hands, O Lord, I commend my spirit. Amen. That's coming out of Luke 23:46. And per usual, I had to break that thing down. Commend. He commended his spirit.
All right.
He presented it as suitable for approval or acceptance. He was the only one that could do that, y'all. He was the only one that could do that. There's a lot of people that thought that they would be in a position to be able to do that. When he was talking to the Sadducees, and they questioning, they asked him all this stuff, thinking they're gonna trip him up. And he silenced them with the responses that he gave. The Pharisees thought that they were the type to, they had the law so masterfully down, and they studied and they walked around with their chests out, and they weeping, all of this stuff on their face, and they thought that they had it down. But he presented himself as a suitable for acceptance.
Yes.
It also means to entrust someone or something too. So when he said that, into your hands I commend my spirit, he was saying that he was entrusting God with his spirit.
Yes.
And it wasn't even so much the statement that really got me, it was the after effects of the statement. So right after he makes this statement, we see that the centurion, he instantly was like, this has to be a righteous man.
Come on now. Right.
After that, immediately, people that came to spectate and that came to look, and it came to probably were saying just the worst things that you can imagine that they could talk about a human being. For people to rally around such an event, to see someone crucified, to really to put the kind of pressure that they put on Pilate, to be able to have this man killed, just overwhelming. So much so that Pilate was a little spineless, apparently, according to the masses, just from the pressure that he had, because he still had the pressure. I mean, the power to say no, but he didn't. He caved, and thank God he did. But he still had the power to say no.
Yes, sir.
That they weren't going to crucify him because he found no fault in him.
Yes, sir.
But these are the kind of people that were standing around crucifying one of their own. And it said that they still were beating on their chest in repentance as they were walking away and returning to their homes.
Wow.
They knew
that
he was the only one
that
could commend their spirit, that an acceptable spirit to be commended unto the Lord.
Yes.
They knew that none of them were worthy of it.
Yes.
And that's what really grabbed me as it pertained to that. Also, as far as him commending his spirit, I thought about him talking to the Pharisees after he got done talking to the Sadducees. And in Matthew 22, they tried to trip him up. They had the Pharisees, first of all, they were very educated. So, they were on top of their game as it pertains to the law. They were always huddling up with each other, making sure that they had the latest and the greatest as it pertained to the law. So they had like their lawyer friends kind of huddle up when they heard that Jesus had shut down the Sadducees, and was like, okay, cool, we got something for him. So, they asked him, they said, well, what's the greatest commandment in the law? And they thought that they were going to have him. And Jesus said unto them, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. And I think about him commending his spirit unto the Lord. And he was just completely showing exactly what that looked like. To commit all of your mind, all of your soul, all of your heart unto God. What that looks like. Him being in the flesh, what that looks like. At any point in time, he could have quit. At any point in time in this flesh that we have, honestly, any part of that beating, I feel like I probably would have just passed out from it. So to have the mentality to really commend your mind to a task that God has put you to, to say that I'm still going to carry on, to hear the things that people were saying about you, to have the mind to say that I'm going to carry on, to dedicate your heart to something in such a way after getting beat with the cat of nine tails, which I don't know if anybody knows what that kind of contraption looks like. It's literally built to pull skin off of your flesh. You think about something like the back of a hammer. You know, in the front of it, you got like the flat piece to beat it in. On the back of it, you use it to pull nails out.
Yes, sir.
Literally something that they use to throw into you, latch onto you, and pull skin off. He was beaten with that. Just that portion alone. Somebody that didn't have their whole heart, their whole soul, and their whole mind committed to would not have been able to endure that whatsoever. So I just think about that, and I think about like, Lord, what an example he was. And for him to say that he commended his spirit, and to see the reaction from people, they knew that it had to be the truth. They knew that he was a righteous man. They knew that everything that he said was the truth. At that point in time. And it was just that moment of clarity that really stuck with me when I just read that verse and heard that saying. Where are we going to be with it? When are we going to commit our whole heart, our whole soul, our whole mind into it? What things are we willing to endure for his name's sake? He don't got us nowhere getting beat with a cat of nine tails. He don't got us nowhere getting beat with 40 lashes. We were able to come to church today, put on our fancy clothes, sit here comfortably. He didn't require none of that.
No.
Sometimes he just nudged us a little bit, like, listen, on this next song, I'm gonna need you to stand up and just give me a little bit of praise. And we still be like, not me, not with this knee, not with these hips.
Come on, bro.
And he endured all those things for us, and we didn't even appreciate it. I just think about that. Think about that. When are we going to be? And how willing are we to make sure that we're acceptable as far as our view unto the Lord? Amen.
Amen.